All right, so to start our practice, as I mentioned, we're coming into Shavasana or corpse pose, which just means you get to lay down and relax, and you can close your eyes. And then maybe just take a little body scan, releasing. You can start at your feet and release up through the legs. Try to release your hips and your glutes. Release the core. Let the shoulders and chest melt down. And then even relax your jaw, your facial muscles, and just completely lay down and relax and do nothing. And inevitably, when we get to this place, our mind will start to wander a bit. It'll take us to the to-do list, what to do after we finish our yoga or what we should have done before yoga. And our goal is instead to just be here and be present. And one of the tools we can use to do that is just taking really nice deep breaths into, imagine it coming all the way into your belly expanding on the inhale. And then as you exhale, letting all that air come out before you take that next inhale. So we're gonna stay here for a minute or two, and we're just gonna breathe. We're gonna settle in, and we're gonna do our best to use our mindfulness to keep us right here, present in this spot, okay? And we have been in this class studying a little bit just at the beginning, our yamas and our niyamas, which is another limb of yoga, one of which is asana, or the physical practice we do. And we've reached one of the niyamas today that is Svadhyaya, which is self-study. And so basically self-study includes us honestly looking at our lives and how we live them, looking at what we project, tracing back to our past, not being afraid to look at that, and acknowledging our ego, and just being a real witness to our own actions and being overall mindful. So I'm going to share just a quick quote with you, which is, we don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. So just thinking about that for a moment. We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. So I'm going to have you do a quick experiment in your mind without thinking too much about it. Think of 3 things that come to your mind when I say describe the world as you see it. So getting 3 words in your mind if I were to say describe the world as you see it. Now look at what words you have created there. Every comment that you have used to describe the world will tell you more about yourself than about the world. These are clues into how you structure your beliefs, yourself, and your life. And every comment you make about the world, about another person, about an event, about life, is actually a message about yourself and a clue to your interior landscape. So a little food for thought today on self-study. And how we can continue to think about this through our practices, noticing what comes to your mind when I cue a certain pose or you have to do something, and what do you really love and what maybe is a struggle, what's a challenge, what do you have fun with? And think about that experience physically that starts to come up internally and mentally as well. So let's just take a couple more deep breaths here. I'll give you the opportunity to set an intention for your class, for the class today. Sometimes intention might be just to stay present. It might be to really focus on your breath every time I say inhale or exhale, really trying to mirror that and take those nice cleansing breaths as we move our bodies. Or maybe you want to dedicate your practice to someone or something that might need that extra energy today. So let's take 3 more deep breaths and set that intention. And then our next inhale, we're going to bring our arms up overhead, and we'll stretch all the way from our fingertips to our toes. Point your toes, stretch, stretch, stretch. You're stretching so much that even the middle of your back is lifting up, or the lower part of your back. And then as you exhale, you're going to curve and round, bend the knees into the chest, maybe even curling off the shoulders. You can keep the head on the ground if you need to. If it's available, curve up into that tight, tight ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then as you inhale, open back up. Nice big stretch. One more time. Exhale, curve and round. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as tight as you can. Inhale and open. We're going to do this 2 more times. Move with your own breath. Exhale. Inhale. Remember, we're exhaling all that breath out before we inhale again. Push it all out. Inhale. This time we're going to just bring the right knee in. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Switch it up, left side. Exhale. Inhale. So you can keep doing this where you're lifting up, bringing nose to knee, just switching sides here. Or if it's available for you, you might keep the shoulders lifted and create more of this sort of bicycle action, but you're still moving with breath. So it doesn't become just like an aerobic exercise where we do a bicycle, but we inhale, exhale. You can always have that head down and just move the legs as well. So we'll always have options, modifications, so that it can be accessible. Should never be any pain, but there should be a little challenge at times. All right, last round. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring both knees in, drop the head down. Just give your back a little massage, rock side to side. And then let the knees fall over to either side and open the arms up to a T. So we're twisting. Our knees or legs are at a 90-degree angle, and we're trying to push both shoulders down to the mat. Deep breath. Inhale to the center. Exhale, let the knees fall over to the other side. If it's available, you can gaze over to the opposite side that the knees are. One more deep breath here. And inhale, coming back to center. We're going to rock ourselves up to seated, but if that doesn't feel good on your back, you can just push yourself up. If it feels okay, I'm just going to rock and roll here a little bit. We'll take one more. And then we're coming to sit. So our feet are going to get as close as we can to our bum. We're going to sit as nice and tall as we can. We're going to work on leveling up to our boat pose. So we're just going to bring one foot up. My hands are on my kneecaps. Another foot up. And I'm starting to feel that connection between my legs, my hips, and my core. I really have to engage. I don't want to just fall back here like this. That's not fun, not good posture. So you really push your chest forward and sit nice and tall. Now from here, you might be able to start playing with lifting both legs, okay? And tap just the toes. So you always stop at your level, all right? Then you might be able to bring the hands under the knees and hold here. All right, so I'm engaging my core, which means I'm pushing my belly button towards my spine and I'm tucking my tailbone, keeping a nice straight back. Maybe I can release the hands and stay right here. Maybe I can straighten the legs. I cannot, but maybe you can. All right. One more deep breath. Exhale, bring the feet to the ground, open up to your butterfly. Hands can come to the feet. Inhale, nice and tall. You're working on pushing the knees towards the mat, energetically, not with the hands. And then as you exhale, bring the chest towards the feet as much as you can with keeping the back straight, and then you can just curve and round and let yourself drop down. Should feel really good after using our hips and legs in that boat pose. And inhale, bring yourself back up. We're going to cross the legs so we can roll over the feet and come into a tabletop posture. All right, so we want to make sure our knees are under our hips, our hands are under our shoulders, and we don't want to just lock our elbows, but have a little nice micro bend there to protect the joint. From there, instead of just letting yourself sink down, really push the hands away like you're doing a plank pose, and tuck the tailbone, engage the core. From here, we're just going to come into a nice cat-cow. So we drop the belly, we look up. As we exhale, we start at the tailbone, curve and round, push the back up to the ceiling. Keep moving. Inhale to our cow, exhale to our cat. Move with your own breath. Maybe you can even close the eyes here and just really feel the articulation of each vertebra, curving and rounding. Let's take one more full round of our breath. Inhale, exhale. Coming back to that neutral spine. All right, we're gonna add in a little balance here now. So we're gonna kick that right foot back. You can see my right foot is still on the ground. And I'm just gonna rock it forward and back a little bit. So I'm feeling into that back calf, okay? You can stay right here, or you can play with lifting that back foot up. You notice my belly didn't just sink down, I kept that core engagement. Right leg is out. From here, I'm gonna inhale to look up. As I exhale, I'm gonna curve and round, bring the knee towards the nose, really lift that leg as close to the body as you can, and then inhale, stretch it out. Really work the core, pull that knee in, lengthen it out. Exhale, inhale. Now maybe you want an extra challenge to bring that left hand in, using both. Really push into that right hand to protect that right wrist. One more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, curve and round. Stretch it out. Drop down the hand. Drop down the knee. We're going to take a quick little break here by coming into puppy pose. So puppy pose, our hips stay over the knees and we just walk the hands forward. And you really push the heart down. So we're not coming into child's pose. Our hips aren't back here, they're staying up. This is a really nice shoulder stretch. You can either bring the chin to the ground or the forehead. And then just really feel your heart melt down into the mat. All right. One more deep breath here. And slowly walk yourself back up. We'll take it to the other side, so left leg now. Check that those elbows are bent, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. All right, kick into that left foot, rock it back and forth. Then slowly start to lift that leg up, keeping the core engagement. Inhale, exhale, curve and round. See if that knee can touch your nose. Inhale, exhale, really pull it in. Inhale, exhale, move with your own breath. Two more, maybe invite that right arm in. Last one, inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, inhale, drop the hand, drop the leg. One more time, puppy pose. So we're really working on opening our shoulders and our chest today, which is so awesome for anyone that's been on their computer, which I think is all of us. You can drop the forehead or the chin. Chin is pretty intense, so if you have any neck issues, just bring the forehead down. One more deep breath here. And then you're going to slither forward all the way on to your belly. All right, open the arms up to a T. Bring the right hand into the chest, take the right foot up. Roll yourself onto that left shoulder. So my arm is coming straight out from my shoulder. And this is just really giving that left shoulder a good stretch. We're also twisting our spine to detox. All right, bring it back through center, take it to the other side. Right hand out, left foot kicks up, roll yourself onto that right shoulder. Couple more deep breaths here. Try to really release the head here, the neck. Keep the stretch in the shoulder. All right, and inhale, we're gonna come back through center. Now we're gonna try to push ourselves up through plank. You can push up through the knees and then come up to plank. Or if it's available, boom, shakalaka. I just had to say shakalaka, I'm sorry you couldn't resist it. All right, so we're in our plank. We're feeling strong. We've got a little micro bend. We need to be, we're down on the knees, but we're gonna cross the ankles and engage the core and have a really nice straight back. All right, one more deep breath. As you exhale, push yourself back into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Maybe come up to the tiptoes. I like to say wag your tail. Take any movement that feels good in that downward facing dog. And then find some stillness. So when we're in our down dog, really we want to get that nice straight line from our wrist crease to our tailbone. And you can bend the knees as much as you need to find that. You do not need to really push into those knees. You're just looking to, once again, like in our puppy pose, really sinking that heart down. And then over time, you can work on lowering the heels little by little. All right, we'll come into our sun salutations. Inhaling to the toes. Exhale, walk to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift, coming into a 90-degree angle. Exhale, fold deeply, let the crown of your head drop towards the ground. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up, pressing the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bringing the feet together, standing nice and tall, coming into our mountain pose. Okay, we'll take 3 rounds of our Surya Namaskara, or our sun salutation, together today. Inhaling our arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, dive down. Inhale, half lift. Hands can come to shins or the ground. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank. From here, you can lower the knees and then keep the elbows tucked in tight. Lower yourself all the way down. Inhale, push into the hands, come to your cobra. Push the elbows together, shoulder blades together. Exhale. Now you're gonna push maybe through tabletop and bring it back to downward facing dog. Once we're here, we're taking 3 deep breaths. And this is where we commit to being present. As soon as we stop moving, the mind likes to wander. So find that drishti or focal point. Instead of having the eyes move all over the room, figuring out what you need to clean after this practice, commit to one spot, one intention. Deep inhale, coming to the tiptoes. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming into round 2. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hinge, drop it down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back to plank. Maybe lower the knees, maybe you can keep them up. Exhale, coming all the way down. Push the elbows together, inhale. Exhale, lower it down, push back, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. So lots of options in our sun salutation or our vinyasa that you can take. Do what is right for you. Use the knees when you need to. One more deep breath. Inhale to the toes. Exhale to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, crown, sweep around. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Pausing here for a moment. You'll close the eyes, bring the feet together, push the hands together, bring the thumbs to the heart. Feel the heartbeat. Take nice deep breaths. We're going to go into our third and final round of our sun salutation, but I'm not going to cue us. I'll do it here visually, but for those of you that can, I'll challenge you maybe to do this third round with the eyes closed, maybe doing it in your own way, but really making this your own practice here. So as you're ready, we'll begin that third and final round. Take your time to finish that third round. And as you do, coming into that mountain pose, standing nice and tall, closing the eyes, feeling that balance. Take 2 more deep breaths here, really connecting with that intention you set at the start or that dedication when we take this little moment of pause. And we'll come into a little hip opener warm up, flowing together once more. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step, walk, or maybe float it back to your plank or your chaturanga. Inhale, maybe the hips off, upward facing dog. Exhale, curve and round, push the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, that right leg rises, 3-legged dog. Left heel, really sink it down, stretch that left calf. As you exhale, just as we did earlier, that curve and round, bring the knee towards the nose, bring it forward and step it down. You can always lift that foot to bring it here if you need to. From here, you can keep this knee up or you can drop it down and back. Inhale, really open the heart, sink the hips, and then as you exhale, straighten that front leg, push the hips back, bow over that right knee. Move with your breath here. So we inhale, sink the hips into like a runner's lunge, and exhale, straighten that leg, push it back. Take 2 more rounds. You can choose knee up or knee down. Really focus on keeping the hips aligned with the knee and ankle. As you move forward and back. And then we'll all meet in that front lunge. We're going to mix up a little bit today. So we'll be here and we're going to come into lizard pose. So that basically means you're going to bring both hands inside as you move that right knee out a little bit. And you can stay right here Or if it's available, you can start to try to lower that outside forearm down. If that's not available, that's okay. You can even drop that back knee and then see if that outside elbow and forearm will come down. Maybe both can come down. This is really getting into this hip right here, obviously, but if you have really tight hips, don't be discouraged if you need to stay up here, and it's an intense stretch even up here for most. All right, so if it's available, sink it down. If it's not, stay up. All right, take one more deep breath here. And if you're not already up on the hands, we'll come up. And then from here, you're gonna bend this back leg. And this might already feel like a really intense stretch on this front hip flexor, so you can stay right there. If it's available with a little bend in this left elbow, you're gonna reach that right hand back and try to grab on to your foot or ankle. And then you're gonna peel that right shoulder back to take a little bit of a twist and maybe even gaze up. All right? If you can't reach that foot, just put the hand on the hip, or maybe the hand on the knee. It's okay. It's really, I know we're really getting into the hips. Getting into the hips and the shoulders and the chest today is our goal. One more deep breath here. And you're gonna slowly, with control, lower that foot back down, coming back into that high runner's lunge. So wiggle that right foot back in between the hands, all right? And then you're gonna push the legs straight and bring yourself around to the middle of the mat. So you're in a wide-legged stance, and you're bringing the hands in right under your face, and then you're gonna just try to let gravity let you hang a little bit. Inhale, take a flat back. Exhale, lower down. And you might take a couple breaths like that if the stillness doesn't feel comfortable for you. If you can, try to let gravity do the work and let yourself hang a bit. That's ideal. Because as we hang here, the little fascia and all these tiny muscles in our legs and around our glutes are starting to turn off and let gravity work rather than the body. All right, next inhale, we'll all take a half lift, and then we're gonna exhale to the back side of our mat. So now we're doing that runner's lunge, but over the left foot, all right? So same thing, we're gonna inhale, sink the hips, raise the heart. Exhale, straighten the legs, bow over that front leg. Inhale, open the heart, remember knee can be down. Exhale, straighten. 2 more rounds. Take it with your own breath. I will say that a lot, but that's how you know you're practicing a lot of yoga, is when you really start to move on your own breath and not my cues. All right, let's come back to that lunge. Now, same thing we did on the other side. We're moving the hands to the inside of that left leg. Maybe you're staying right here. Maybe you even want to drop that back knee and stay right here. If you're staying up, you'll notice that your knee is really close to your tricep, and give a little bit of tension where the knee pushes to the tricep and the tricep pushes back. If you want to take it a little bit further, drop the right forearm down. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe that left forearm can come down. Maybe the knee can come up. This is our full lizard, or in Malaysia, I like to call it gecko pose. One more deep breath. And then we'll all together make sure we drop that back knee if we haven't already. Coming back up to the hands if we're not there. Keeping a little bend in that right elbow. Starting to open the chest, kick into that back foot. You might find yourself just staying right here. Or you might be able to reach that hand back and grab the foot or the ankle. From there, then you want to try to stack the shoulders, open the chest, bring the gaze up and over that left shoulder. Keep that little micro bend and push into your hand to protect the wrist. One more deep breath. Slowly release that back foot, coming back to that lizard pose, but then wiggle that knee and foot back. We're in our runner's lunge again. Straighten that leg, walk yourself around. One more wide-legged fold. So inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, sink it down. So we're either working on trying to get the forearms down. Maybe even you can then use the hands to start bringing the head down. If you're right here, that's okay. Just take each breath nice and slow and work on releasing. Might even be able to heel toe the feet a little bit wider on this round. All right, we'll inhale to half lift. Exhale, bring it back to that right leg. So we're back at the front of our mat. We're gonna step it back and we're in plank. And now you always have the option where you can just push back to down dog, or you can take our half lower vinyasa. So we lower down, inhale, cobra upward facing, tuck our toes, lift our hips, push back, downward facing dog. All right, from here, we're gonna take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it all go. One more deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift that right leg up, three-legged dog. Let the left heel sink. And on your next exhale, transition yourself forward. We're gonna come into high lunge now. So that heel stays off the ground. If that doesn't feel safe, you can drop it down. But if you can add that little challenge of balance, you're gonna come up to our high lunge. So knees over ankle in the front, and then you're really trying to get this heel over the ball of your foot. It'll give you the most stability. And then sink into the hips, lift the chest, and then you can bring the arms up overhead. If this doesn't feel good on the shoulders or neck, you can be right here, hands at heart center. And then you want to really power up that back leg. You notice that gets my leg, it's really straight. And then that gives me an even better stretch in this front hip flex. Deep breath. So this is our standard high lunge. What we're going to start playing with today is taking a back bend, which is actually more of a heart opener or a chest opener. So rather than just keeping the arms up, we might start to lean back a little. Or if that doesn't feel great on the lower back, you can just play with taking cactus arms, which will naturally open your shoulders and your heart. If it's available, you can keep the hands up with the triceps near your ears, engage the core, tuck the tailbone, and then lift and lean just back a little tiny bit. It's not a big movement. Deep inhale, exhale. Coming back up, we're gonna twist to the center of our mat like we did before, but we're coming into goddess pose. So our knees are pointing out, our toes are pointing out, and let's just feel into this a little bit. So you might move back and forth. Now, some of us will start to lean forward. You get a side view. Of course, there's gonna be this natural arch to your back, but really think about trying to get up straight. And if that means you can't bend the knees as far, that's okay. So from goddess pose, just gonna move back and forth a little bit here. And then we're gonna take a little bit of a flow to it, okay? So we're gonna release the hands. We're gonna inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend. And you're really trying to get to that point where the bottom of your legs is parallel to the ground. Inhale up. Exhale, sink it down. One more time, but we're gonna hold after this one. Inhale up. Exhale down. So you can come into cactus arms. You can come into hands at heart center, but you're really pushing into the hands, or you can have the arms straight up. One more deep breath. Splash it up. Return to that high lunge. So we're spinning back to the front of our mat. Knees over ankle, trying to get that nice and low. Fire up that back leg. Arms up. One more time. Tease that back bend or come into cactus arms. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring the hands down. Step it back. Lower. Maybe take that vinyasa. Maybe push back down dog. You get to choose. Once we're in down dog, we're gonna take deep breaths, 2 full deep breaths. Maybe sigh them out. And then we'll take it to the other side. So we'll inhale that left leg up. 3-legged dog for a whole breath, sinking into that right heel. And then as you exhale, coming to step it through, prepare for that high lunge. Take your time to get there. Really get into the posture. So knee over ankle, fire up that back leg, little tuck of the tailbone, lifting up here, shoulders down. Choose your arm variation of choice. And then we're gonna play with that little bit of back bend. Maybe leaning here, maybe just taking those cactus arms to open up, maybe a little of both. Inhale, straighten back up. Exhale, coming to goddess. So spinning it in, turning the heels towards each other, knees over ankles, settling in a little bit. What we do on one side, we usually do on the other. So we're gonna inhale it up. Exhale, sink it down. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Keep that chest lifted. Exhale, come to hold. Maybe cactus, hands at prayer, arms straight up. But try not to just lean forward here. Really push the chest back. One more deep breath. Inhale, splash it up. Turn back over to that left knee. Open the heart up. Hands up. Tiny bitty back bend. Exhale, hands down. Step it back to plank. Either push back, downward facing dog, or you can take this little flow. Once we're all in down dog, we're gonna walk the hands back to the feet. Coming into a forward fold at the back of our mat. Shake the head, yes. No. Release the head. Once you've released all the muscles in the neck, you can grab opposite elbow and take a ragdoll. Just hang here. Shake it out. Relax. Connect with that intention or dedication. And take deep breaths into the back. Like a doctor's got a stethoscope. Where you take that really deep. And sigh it out if it feels good. 2 more deep breaths here. Lowering the hands back down, walking the hands back into your downward facing dog. All right, we'll keep adding on what we've done so far. So inhale that right leg up, 3-legged dog. Try to sink that left heel down, deep inhale. Exhale, curve and round, bring the knee towards the nose, step it in between the hands, prepare for your high lunge. Take your time to get there. Once you're there, take a deep inhale to come into that back bend or chest opening, maybe even come a little bit deeper. And then exhale back up. Just holding it for a breath. We want to really engage the core, okay? Twist open to that goddess pose. Sink it down. Now we're going to play with staying here and coming into a little side bend. So plant one hand and reach over to the other side. Opening, try to stack your shoulders. So rather than down here, really peel that shoulder, that chest open. All right, take it to the other side. So you can see I'm kind of putting my elbow here on my leg. I'm leaning over. We're gonna take one more round of this. I'm gonna give you a little challenge option. Instead of putting that arm there, maybe just bring it forward. It's gonna make it like a wave. More core work. Last side, you got this. Coming back to center, splash it up, good work. Coming back to that high lunge. We're gonna add on here, okay? So just bring the hands to the hips for now. You're in your high lunge. We're gonna transition from here to warrior three. And that can look very different for each person. If you already have it in your practice and you wanna go there, go for it. Otherwise, I'll walk us through some steps. Step one could be we plant the hands down and then we kick that back foot up and we keep the hands on the ground the whole time, okay? Now, you can see my shoulders are lower than my hips and my goal is to get them at the same. So maybe you can come to the tips of your fingers. Maybe you can bring the hands to the hips and try to raise the chest. Maybe you can bring the hands to heart center or airplane arms, or maybe the arms can come straight forward. Take what is right for you. We got one more deep breath, hang in there. We're gonna come back, drop that foot back. Inhale up into that back bend. Exhale, hands down, step it back, flow or not to flow. That is your option. Coming into that down dog. We got one more side, guys, and we're gonna take a little break. Inhale that left foot up, three-legged dog, one full breath. Deep inhale, exhale, curve and round. Get that foot in between the hands. Prepare for that high lunge. Remember, you can take that cactus arms. Look at cactus arms, my chest and shoulders already open. Don't even have to back bend if you don't want to. Otherwise, I'm gonna engage my core and I'm gonna come into that little back bend, and then I'm gonna come back up. Spin both heels in, coming into the goddess pose. Lots of hip work. All right. So for this round, we're gonna play with no hands. All right, we're gonna come into first our side, then our other side. Coming back to center, we're gonna inhale up, inhale down, exhale down. Inhale up, we're just blending. Exhale down, all right? One more time, just giving you a little break in between those side bends. Nicely done. Inhale up, exhale, curving back over, left knee over left ankle. We're in our high lunge. Now hands can come to the hips. This is a little bit easier transition. If you want to try to go straight into warrior three, if not, I'll walk us through those steps again. Drop the hands, kick that foot back. Back foot is not just hanging here, it's super active. Like I'm kicking into the back wall. My toes are pointed down. Then I might come to my tip fingers. Maybe I can bring my hands to heart center. Or maybe I need an airplane. Hands to the hips. Or maybe arms straight out. One more deep breath. All right, we're gonna slowly, with control, lower back down to that high lunge. Sink it down, open up to the sky. Back bend, exhale, lower it down, flow or push back. Once we hit that down dog, we all get to drop the knees, nice and wide, sink the hips back, coming into your child's pose. Drop the forehead and the chest down into the mat. Deep breaths into the back. Connect with that intention or dedication that you set at the start of class. Taking a little moment of self-study. Acknowledging where the mind is taking us and knowing that we have the ability to keep it right here, to be present in our practice. Seeing where our mind has taken us, what emotions have maybe come up, whether it's, what did I sign up for today? Or, wow, that feels really interesting on my right hip. All sorts of thoughts, I'm sure, are coming to mind. And acknowledging them, accepting them. We've got one more round of flow that I'll invite you to do. So it's an invitation. You have the right to accept or decline. And if you want to stay right here in child's pose while we do this third and final round, that is completely your option and choice, as is everything I'm offering today. But you've made it this far. So I want to see where else maybe that body can take you today. So we will go through the same flow we just did, but once we're in warrior 3, because our hips are really open and our heart and our chest and our shoulders are really open, we're going to come into dancer pose, which I will offer several variations of, but it's something we haven't done in a while, so I'm feeling excited about it. So if you'd like to take this third and final round, we're going to come into our downward facing dog. All right, let's take a couple deep breaths in our down dog. Inhale that right leg up. As you exhale, step through, coming into your high lunge. Fire up that back leg. Inhale up into that back bend. Exhale, spin open to your goddess. Sink it down. Inhale, go to one side. Exhale to the other. So notice we're flowing with each breath now. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, splash all the way up. Exhale, coming into that high lunge, preparing for your warrior 3. Transition however you need to. One full deep breath here. And we'll all drop the hands down. Now, you've got 2 ways to get into dancer. I'm going to show you one, and if this isn't your thing, don't worry, I got a second. So you're going to bend that back foot. Left hand reaches back to the foot. Then you bend that front knee and slowly bring yourself up, okay? That was option 1. Option 2 is just stand up and grab your foot, okay? So that first one takes a little bit more balance and control. Once we're all here, you want to start to bend forward, kind of like we were in warrior 3, but then we also kick into the foot, and our right arm can reach forward. Okay, we're going to take a couple breaths here. Try to keep that left knee pointing down, not opening up to the side, okay? One more, you got this. All right, slowly release back into our high lunge. Exhale, hands come down, step it back, flow, or push back, downward facing dog. Nice, we got one more side and then we get to cool down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Prepare for your high lunge. Inhale up, open that heart. Exhale, transition to your goddess. Heels together. Inhale, reach for one side. Exhale to the other. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, splash all the way up. Turn back over that left leg. We're going to come into warrior 3. So you can bring the hands to the hips or down if you need to. If it's available here, you're transitioning straight into that warrior 3. Fire up that back leg, toes point down. And then slowly, if it's available, you're going to bend into that back foot. Reach back for that foot. Woo. Lean forward. Keep that right knee pointed down and start to kick into that foot as you raise that left hand up. All right, we got a back bend, we got a balance, we got a shoulder opener, heart opener. This is what you've been working for. Deep inhale, release, exhale, back down. Inhale, last back bend. Exhale, bring it down, step it back. Last flow. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. You're gonna inhale that right leg up just for a second to come into pigeon. So we bring that right leg forward, stretch those left toes back, and this is where we catch our breath. Inhale, exhale, maybe you can come to the forearms, maybe you stay right here. Maybe you can come all the way down and rest the hands or the head on the hands. If this does not feel good for you, this is the exact same stretch as a figure four on the ground. So you can take what feels best for you. We're just doing one last little hip opener here. The queen of all hip openers. I guess it's the king. It's king pigeon. 2 more deep breaths. Slowly coming back up to the hands. You're gonna tuck those toes behind. Bring yourself back into that down dog just for a moment, and then take it to the other side. Left leg comes forward. Reach those right toes back. Inhale to lengthen and exhale. Just finding that spot, knowing this side might be totally different from the other side, and that's okay. Maybe you can release a little lower, or need to stay a little higher. 2 more deep breaths. All right, slowly bring yourself back up. If it feels good, we're gonna just come back. Feels good for me at least to neutralize in that down dog one last time. Weighing the tail, seeing how we feel there. And then we'll just drop it down to the knees and sit back onto your heels. We are running out of time, but we're gonna take just a quick moment for an inversion. And if you have an inversion in your practice that you're super comfortable with and you want to do that, you can go for it right now. But I'm going to walk us through a quick demo of tripod headstand. And I moved you because if you want to go to your wall, you can. And if you want to do it in the middle of the room, you can too. But if you want a little extra support, I'm just going to show you how you can get into this. So you come into like our all fours, all right? And then you're going to bring the head to the ground. And you're gonna bring your arms to a 90-degree angle. And it doesn't look like a 90-degree angle here until I really push. So I'm pushing into my head, into my hands. From here, you're gonna tuck the toes, and this is like a modified down dog, and I work my hips, or my hips back over my shoulders. You might stay right here, all right? Options, maybe kick a knee up onto the elbow, here and here. Sorry, everybody can see my tummy. Maybe you can bring both knees up into a tripod, which is pretty fun. You might just stay right here, or you can try to bring the knees into the chest and then straighten the legs all the way up the wall, coming into tripod headstand. And wherever you end up today is awesome. Even if you're still right here, that's great, because we're getting our blood to flow in a different direction, which is healing our bodies and really, really good for us. So wherever we end up, we want to take 5 to 10 breaths. And after we finish those breaths, we come down into the child's pose. But if you're still inverted, don't worry, just keep doing that, enjoy it. We'll take about another 30 seconds to be able to invert. And when you finish, just come down, maybe even stack the hands, coming into a little child's pose. This just allows the neck and the spine to realign. All right, take your time. Enjoy the inversion. My personal favorite of yoga is to invert. All right, and then after you've taken that inversion, we'll come back away from the wall. All right. Just as we started, we're gonna end laying on our backs. All right, so you're gonna lay on your back, bring the knees into the chest, just as we did at the start. And let the knees fall over to either side. Open the arms up to a T. Let that chest peel open, shoulders peel open. Let's take a few more deep breaths here. Inhale back through center. Let the knees fall over to the opposite side. Bringing yourselves back to center. You can take a full 10 breaths to take any last postures that your body might be calling out for before we come into our Shavasana and meditation. So for me, sometimes that means coming into a reclined butterfly, or coming into a happy baby and rocking side to side. For some, it might be a shoulder stand or just legs up the wall. This is where you get to make it your own. So enjoy maybe taking a back bend or a bridge. Make it your own. And after, and maybe this is what you're ready for, is just stretching those legs out and coming back into that corpse pose or that Shavasana. So we don't just lay down, we kind of tuck the shoulder blades underneath, and we tuck the glutes so that really the top part of our body is open and expanded as much as possible, which is also why we don't have our hands right next to our body, but we just have it completely open, our palms face up, our feet fall out. We just reconnect with that intention, we reconnect with that breath. We close the eyes and let ourselves just be present. This is our most important pose of the entire practice. And we honor this pose by keeping our mind as steady as we can, connecting with that intention or dedication, or simply just following the ebb and flow of the breath. You can slowly start to deepen your breath. Slowly wiggling the fingers and the toes. Rolling wrists and ankles and pointing and flexing the feet. And on your next inhale, bringing the arms up overhead, stretching just as we did at the beginning. Bringing the fingers as far as you can away from those toes. And then as you exhale, bring the knees into the chest and roll on to your favorite side, pausing in the first posture our bodies ever knew. The path of growth is not a straight line. It does not look anything like what we think it should look like. In fact, often our belief system of what growth should look like is the very thing that can stop our growth. What we think we know stops our inquiry. The Buddhists remind us to have a beginner's mind, to know that we don't know, and to know that we can know what we don't know. It is this stance of humility that can open the door to learning in Revelation. We don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. Slowly, as you're ready, you'll bring yourself up into a comfortable seated posture. Sitting nice and tall, and you can keep the eyes closed and bring the hands to heart center. We'll begin to rub the hands together. We create this heat and energy, and then we transfer this energy to cover our eyes. May we use this energy to see the beauty within ourselves and the beauty within our world. Bringing the palms together again, creating this energy. This time we'll cover the ears. May we use this energy to hear positive thoughts about ourselves and our world. Once more, bringing the palms together. This time we'll transfer this energy over the heart. May we live our truth and find the beauty in all living beings. Inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, pulling this energy cultivated down to our hearts. Namaste.